So the process to become a foster parent is quite a lengthy one. So you're looking at between 4 to 6 months before you are an approved foster carer. So that in itself gives you an idea of how in depth and quite intrusive the process is. So the first step is just making the initial inquiry, whether that be online, whether that be calling us up directly, having a chat with one of the recruitment members, either myself or one of my colleagues. It's quite informal at this stage. We're answering any immediate questions, sending out the information. We always encourage you to have a really good read through that information as a family, whether it be with birth children in the home, out the home, any immediate family, before you actually do begin your fostering journey. From there, if you're ready to take the next stage, we fill in something called an initial inquiry form, and we do that over the phone. Again, quite informal. It's usually 15 to 20 minutes, asking a few more questions, ticking a few more boxes, just so we can get an idea at that very first stage whether it's right for you at this moment to be thinking about fostering. If everything was ticked off at that stage, you then have your home visit, which as a member of the recruitment team I can say is one of our favourite parts of the assessment process. It's because we've got a really good way of coming out to you, getting to know you face to face, putting any anxieties to rest straight away. It's a really nice part of the assessment stage. We're usually there for a good hour and a half to 2 hours, so it's quite a lengthy visit. We're essentially moving further from the initial inquiry and looking a bit more into what you do day to day, jobs, hobbies, your birth children, speaking to them if they're there, looking at any pets that are in the house, just seeing how they behave. Having a look at the spare bedroom as well is really key to this visit to make sure it is safe and suitable to have a looked after child. At this stage, if everything was met there, you'd then be left some application forms, or you could complete them online. At this stage, you're going to start beginning the process properly, really, so you will go into assessment after this stage. Again, you can ask any questions to us. No question is a silly question at this stage. From there, once you've completed your application forms, you'd have a social worker that would be assessing either yourself as a single applicant or you and your partner if you're a joint applicant applying. Within the assessment period, the social worker will probably make between 8 to 10 visits by the time the process is finished. So it's quite a lot of visits between you and them, both individually and as a couple, so you get to know your assessor really well. We'd be doing some reference checks, particularly with birth children, employer checks, potentially ex-partner checks as well, which is a very brief reference that we would need just from an ex-partner. So we're trying to get a really good picture of you, past, present and future, to make sure, again, fostering is right for you. You'd have some training that would be delivered as well, called Skills to Foster training. That's usually held over a weekend, so you need to make sure you are available for this training, and that's because you need to attend it before you attend the final stage at panel. Once you reach the end of the assessment side, the social worker would have created a Form F, which they will present to panel with your suitability to foster. Panels can come across a little bit daunting. There's usually 5 to 6 people on panel, and essentially they're just picking up a few things from the Form F, asking some further questions before determining your approval. But I've had many people tell me once they've actually gone through to panel, it's not quite as scary as what they would first think. That is the final stage, so there you would then be told whether you're approved or not approved.
In order to apply to become a foster carer, you need to inquire with us first. So you can do that by calling us on 0115 945 5445 or visiting our website. Once you inquire to foster, you'll be contacted by one of us to talk through your interest in fostering. And if it's appropriate, we'll book in a home visit to come out and actually meet with you face to face or virtually. Once that's been completed and you feel that fostering is the right thing for you, and we're also in agreement with that, we will ask you to complete our online application form. It's incredibly easy to do. We send you the link to it, you go in and fill in all the information. Once that's completed and we've got that, we will then look to allocate you an assessor and put you into the full assessment process to become a foster carer.